Happy Sunday. Welcome to our Sunday Lives. Here we answer your amazing questions. I'm excited to talk about sticky socks. Should we use them? When to use them? Why to use them? And all those things. But first, I just want to say our summer tour tickets are now available and selling so fast. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're doing 14 cities. We're going to hit Denver. All starts in August. Denver, Lawrence, Kansas, Knoxville, and Nashville. I'm not sure the order, so don't quote me there. Nashville, Knoxville, Tennessee. Those are two different cities, but I said them like they're the same. Nashville, then Knoxville, then Greensboro, North Carolina. Then we're doing Augusta, Georgia. Then this is where I don't know the map again. Atlanta, then Birmingham, then Huntsville, then those are in Alabama. Then Jackson, Mississippi, I believe. Then we're doing Frisco, Texas, El Paso, Texas. And then we're doing Tucson, Arizona, and we're wrapping up in Las Vegas. So 5 cities. Last time I checked, their classes had sold out. We have 3 other cities who the workshops are about to sell out. And many others that are more than half sold out. So you're just going to want to make sure that you go to opc.me/tour to see where we are in those cities, what workshops we're doing. All the workshops have 2 CCs if you're a teacher who wants those, but all workshops are designed so that both Pilates clients and teachers can attend and get a lot of support. They're really a lot of fun. We've got some great topics out there. Some of those cities are within a couple hours of each other, so you can absolutely hit both because the workshops are uniquely different. So I do hope you come. opc.me/tour. Okay, so we want to talk about sticky socks, grip socks. It's really funny, the post that I made about like, hey, I'm doing this live. Most people are like, no socks at all. Hands are dirtier than feet. And I don't disagree, because most people don't walk around barefoot in the public, right? But they are touching their phones while they're on the toilet and doing weird stuff. So yes, but I know, Brad just said, but Brad, are people on their phones in the bathroom? Yes, they are. So I just want to I just want to chat about some things. Although, our sister-in-law just told us like you're in a sterile. So you hear all these things. There's just so much. But first, let me disclose that I am dear friends with Toe Socks, and they also own Tabby. Tabby is the socks that are just like regular socks, but they have the grip. And then Toe Socks is like the original 5-toe, usually closed. I like them all not closed. I like my toes to be free. But I want to talk about, so I just want to say that. And I'm still going to give you an honest answer because as dear friends of mine that they are, and as amazing quality that they make, I still have some thoughts for you. So when I became a Pilates instructor, there weren't really sticky socks. That was like not a thing. And most people were just barefoot. If you look at pictures of Joe Pilates, he's actually not barefoot. He is actually wearing like, not a dance shoe, but like a slipper of sorts, a sock of sorts. And I trying to think back because I do feel like Jay told me something about those shoes. And they might even be in the book about Joe Pilates, but they weren't like a slippery sock that you normally wear. There was something on the bottom of them. So for those of you who are like, Joe did it barefoot, if you look at the old pictures, there are lots of people who are sometimes wearing things on their feet and sometimes not. So there's that for those of you who are purist. For those of you who are germ freaks, I actually, having been teaching almost 20 years, one of the things I find to be extremely weird is that some clients who are like, okay, I'll follow the sock rule. They bring the same pair of socks every session and they just go in their glove box. So how clean is it? It's just the pair of socks that walked around your studio, in your bathroom. They put it in their purse. Then they put them back on again. Or worse, some people put their sticky socks on at home, put them in their shoes, and then bring them home. I'll talk about this. Okay, hold on. Don't distract me with your ADHD. I haven't taken my meds. Okay, so all that to be said, just because someone is wearing sticky socks does not mean that they are less gross. I'm just going to put that out there. That does not mean they are less gross. I, in fact, used to have a client whose socks smelled so bad I had to make a no sock rule. And then I had to make a rule where we had these wonderful, cool towels that were soaked in eucalyptus oil. And I had everyone wipe their feet when they came in. It was like a spa. I was like, okay, it's a rule. You come in, you grab a towel, you wipe your feet and your hands, and here we go. Because I was like, how do you say, yes, socks, but they can't smell? Like, but it's so ridiculous to tell adults these things. So, what I will say is when I am filming, I often wear grip socks for a couple of reasons. One, your feet do get dirty no matter how clean your floors are. And in filming for Pilates Anytime and filming for YouTube, you don't want to be, it's annoying to stop filming like, wow, there's like all these hairs on your feet because it's in the dust, right? So I often wear them for filming. And when I'm teaching on tours, I will often wear grip socks because I'm going on and off demonstrating. So I will put on grip socks when I walk into the studio so that I can walk around without shoes on as much as I want, or I can slip them on and off and I could have protection because I'm using people's equipment. It's a nice thing to do, not put my bare foot on their equipment. But when I'm doing my personal practice, I'm often not wearing anything at all because it's my own house. It's me, it's my equipment. I'm washing it down. And I like to wear these little toe spacers. And these toe spacers work best when I'm using the 𝐷𝐸 socks because they don't have the toes. If I'm not wearing the toe spacers, I will wear the 5 toes cut off because I like a little freedom. My feet get a little like claustrophobic, so I like the freedom. That said, we wipe down equipment, y'all. So I'm just going to say, like, we wipe down equipment, ideally after every use. And loops like this, you can actually wash. These are Good Citizen. I don't know if they still make them, but you can buy, lots of companies make these now. You can have your own loops if you're really afraid of germs. You can have your own loops that you bring in and you can throw in the washer, and that works really, really well. I don't like a ton of, you're going to ask me about grip stuff for your hands. I'm going to tell you right now. I only like that when people are doing stuff hanging from a Cadillac. I don't love it on a foot bar because a lot of foot bars today are already too thick. And so when you put sticky hand grips on an already too thick foot bar, it's really hard for you to get the wrist to be straight, and that affects whether you can have your forearms to working or not. I have a bare foot bar. You guys have seen that on my reformer. So somebody needs have a little bit of grip on the foot bar and they're not going to wear socks. Then you can just take a pad like this, toss it around, their feet go on it, their feet are not going to slip. I can even have this for their hands as well. You can do this. I do pull-ups and I have these, they're called Victory grips. They're in the closet. They're leather and they're kind of look like something a gymnast would use on like the uneven bars. And I like them because they kind of fit to my hand, but they're not on all of my fingers and in all the individuals. Cause again, like sometimes you don't want things between your fingers. So this is what they look like. They go on, and then it's just like this really thin piece of leather that allows me to get grip on the bars, but it's not a ton of material on my hand. I don't use them on the reformer because I have a thinner foot bar. So what should you do? What do you need to do? Well,
Maria from Tulsa says hello.
hi Maria from
She likes the
Tulsa.
washcloth idea because people reuse socks.
Yeah, I'm so glad you like the washcloth idea. It's honestly like I know, like, so at my studio, I did not have a sock policy because I know how clean my studio was. Like, I Swiffered it every day. Oh yeah. I Swiffered it every day. So I knew it was clean. I hated the dirty sock reusing situation going on, but I had one rule in my policy, my studio policy. If you had red toenail polish or any other dark toenail polish, you had to wear grip socks because that toenail polish would come off on my equipment. Now, if people came in wearing grip socks and they didn't have red toenail polish, I tell them to take it off. No, of course not. Some people don't want to look at their feet, right? So for me, in my spaces, unless you have red toenail polish, the grip socks is a personal choice. Okay. And what I will say is that grip socks are not all made equal. The reason I'm not just a fan of tabby active and toe socks, and we do have an affiliate link that could get you a discount. The reason I am such a fan of them is the way that they make their socks is actually amazing on the environment. The quality of the cotton that they use, not only is it environmental friendly, it is certified. It does a really great work. The factories they use, they are in all the time making sure that they are quality factories, making really great quality products. And then the grip lasts a really long time. I have some socks that are from 2 years. These are at least two, these might be 3 years old. They still have grip. Okay. So as long as you wash and dry them correctly, they last a really long time. So I'm just a bigger fan of what they do and what they stand by. Whereas a lot of grip socks are just using the same place. And yes, they have stickies, but the moment you wear them, the sticky doesn't work anymore. So like for me, it's like fast fashion. I'm so against it. I'd rather spend $5 more or $20 more, and I guess in real clothes it could be hundreds more dollars. But I'd rather spend better money on socks that will last longer and are better on the environment than cheap and cheerful because it's like, oh, let's go with my outfit. Like that's not how I'm wearing grip socks. So I personally believe it's a policy. If a studio has a policy, I'm absolutely going to abide by that policy. But if you think it's because they're a cleaner space, I would say that's an interesting. I would need the science, right? Like, is a studio that has a sock policy cleaner than a studio that doesn't have a sock policy? Because if you don't have a sock policy, then you can see on people's feet if their feet are dirty, right? Whereas if the socks are on, you can't tell. Most socks are dark colors. And so you might actually be at a dirtier studio. Again, every piece of equipment should be getting wiped down wherever your hands and feet and body touch after every use. So the equipment should be cleaned. Those foot loops that people are telling me, oh, those are so it's cleaner than handles. BS. I rarely see those things get taken off and washed. Rarely do I see those things being washed. So I of course I believe you can get sick. I believe in germs. I believe in people having the way to protect themselves from that. That being said, it doesn't mean that that's the only way. It's a way. So if you have sweaty feet, grip socks could be helpful because maybe you feel like you'd slip if your feet, but also maybe they just get hotter. So I just think it's a personal choice. In my studios, it is only a rule if your toenail polish is going to scratch my equipment. I'm gonna have to spend 8 minutes with a toothbrush trying to get it off. I don't want to do that. I also don't mind people bringing their own loops for their feet. Totally fine. Take them with you when you go. And if you are going to buy some socks, you can definitely get my favorite brand with toe socks and tabby active. I believe you can use the link @com/toe socks, but Brad's going to quote me. I'll put it in the comments below. You can DM me on Instagram. You can use the link as much as you want. They have really great stuff. So when you go to the link, it'll actually allow you to go to both brands on one site, and you can load your cart up between both brands because sometimes you want your toes free and sometimes you want your toes covered. Sometimes it's cold and you're like, that's why I want the socks. It's a perfectly reasonable reason to want grip socks. So I lost Brad. So if there are comments, I can't see them. What's another thing that I just want to say on this? I think it's interesting, like with topics like this, how many people are like, it's got to be this way or it's got to be that way. I just don't think it's got to be any way. I think it needs to be the way that makes the client feel as comfortable as possible, and also the teacher who has to touch them as comfortable as possible. So if you're a teacher and you're like, I don't want to touch bare feet, I don't like naked toes, have a rule that sticky socks are required. Not an issue. Like this is not a thing we have to fight about. This is a thing that can be a personal preference, of course. But I do think that like we're kidding ourselves if we think it's a rule because of germs. You can still have dirty feet. What's up, babe?
The link is in the chat.
Oh, Brad put the link in the chat. There you go. So there it is. And if you don't see it, just DM me and I'll send it to you. All right. Summer tour, August. Vore, who also is owned by Tabby and Toe Socks parent company, is one of our prize sponsors. We have some really good bags with them. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
In fact, you can send a discount.
my link gets you a discount. Check that out. Go load up on some sticky socks. And again, allow yourself, if you like them, you use them. If you don't like them, don't use them. If a studio wants you to wear them and you don't like them, find another studio. Like, there are so many options out there. Do Pilates at home. Use OPC. So anyways, thank you so much. Anything else, babe?
Just you repeat the link again. We don't get any credit, but they get a discount.
Oh, okay.
Repeat the link again.
What link?
𝐕𝐝𝐻.com.
Oh,
𝐕𝐝𝐻.
𝐕𝐝𝐻.com/toe-socks. There you go. That's fine. We won't get credit for that one. So use one in the comments, I guess. That'd be helpful. This YouTube costs a lot of money to put on. So anytime you can use their affiliate links, it really does mean a lot if you want to support us and you can't be an OPC member. Or you can be an OPC member and support.
OPC member, we don't get credit for using your link.
Oh, okay.
They get a discount.
Great. Be an OPC member. Because that's how you sponsor this free content right here. onlinepilatesclasses.com/YouTube. All right, guys, love you so much. Next Sunday I will be doing this from the road, so I can't wait to see you. Bye.